What is up, YouTube? It is your boy back again on the live stream. Now, yesterday my live got cut short because of some copyright BS. So hopefully it does not happen again. Because of some copyright BS. Okay, so let's talk about the World Cup. So yesterday, the Norway, France, Mexico won, and England just won. Just finished watching that game. You know, we've seen this a lot in this tournament where the bad team scores first and then the good team just starts scoring. And even though Congo scored first, I feel like everyone knew that England would win. Mexico, Ecuador, this was such a boring, one-sided game. Mexico's acting like they just won the World Cup. You're losing in the next round, you have to play Spain. France, Sweden, no one, and I mean no one, is surprised by this. Norway versus Ivory Coast, don't know how the hell to say that name. No one's surprised that Norway won. Now, for the rest of today, we have Belgium, Senegal. Belgium is in all likelihood gonna win this. The Europeans, USA, Bosnia, USA will win. They got a really good team, as I said yesterday. Spain, Austria, Spain will of course win. Now, Portugal versus Croatia. This game is definitely the game to watch in the round of 32. You have Portugal with a 42-year-old Cristiano Ronaldo versus Croatia with a 41-year-old Luka Modric, and both of them are playing in their last World Cup tournament. So either one of them is gonna leave the field on Thursday in tears. Now, they say that Portugal is favored to win, but for me, I feel like Croatia will win. In my opinion, I think Croatia will win the game. And like, Ronaldo is not the same anymore. People were praising him after the game against Uzbekistan, a horrible team. So therefore, I have Croatia winning. But this match, like, I'm gonna put everything on hold to watch this match. Like, you need to, like, I'm gonna try my best to take this match in. Like, two all-time greats playing in their last World Cup. It does not get better than this. Everyone needs to take this match in. It's once in a lifetime match. So then who else? Switzerland, Algeria, no one cares. Australia, Egypt, no one, well, people do care. I saw someone say Cabo Verde will beat Argentina. It was some African witch lady. I'm like, what? Like, Cabo Verde has no chance. Colombia, Ghana. Colombia's winning. World Cup bracket. Let me tell y'all something. Argentina has the most easiest path to the World Cup. Like, they have to play either they play Cabo Verde, easy win, then they play Australia or Egypt, another easy win. Hold up. Argentina has the most easiest path. Yeah, and then they play either one of these four teams, most likely Colombia, and it's gonna be Argentina versus Colombia in the quarterfinals. Of course they're gonna win that. And then in the semifinals they'll probably play like England. Most likely England, maybe Norway, but most likely England. So yeah, that's it with the World Cup talk. Now we need to talk about LeBron James. Now, like, this is a blockbuster free agency entry. Like, he could play for bare minimum, and I saw on Instagram that he posted himself in Cleveland, so I feel like Cleveland is probably the favorite team to take him, and I said that Cleveland probably will take him. He will not be able to play with Bronny though, which is really sad since Bronny is an all-time great as well. So now, let's react to
Easy mode. And nowhere's that. It sounds weird, but for almost.
Alright, chat, so we are reacting to the ugly rise of Marlon. So, without further ado, let's get started.
A century, psychologists have been studying attractive people, and they keep finding the same thing. The more attractive you are, the more people trust you. The faster.
Like me, chat.
You get hired, and the more you get
Just
paid.
kidding.
Basically, if you're hot, life runs on easy mode. And nowhere is that more obvious than online. TikTok's flooded with thirst traps. Instagram's a competition with that.
Tell them Monday what you need. We're creating an agent and naming him Tony. Now let's give him context.
By the end of high school, Marlon was ranked one of the.
Whoa, what happened? Skipped so much.
It doesn't matter if you were born into one or if you are one. Having a pretty face is a cheat code on social media. I mean, we've seen it a million times. Every other week there's a new vehicle, a new dream, a new guy who makes middle-aged women act fair.
What is this?
Which brings us to Marlon. A little
Marlon.
over a year ago,
Honestly, not like, I don't think he's like
Marlon basically appeared out of nowhere.
that good looking.
One day nobody knew who he was. The next, he was streaming with Mr. Beast, walking in
Mr. Beast.
and being crowned the internet's rising star. On paper, it's the same story we've seen 100 times. A pretty face shows up, and a career launches overnight.
Wow, that's a lot of people, but nowhere near the I Show Speed crowd.
I dug the less that story held up, because Pat Marlon actually took it here. It's a lot uglier than you think.
Let's see what pass he did. What pass he took. Golf cart.
Marlon Lundgren Garcia.
Yo. Yo.
Marlon
That used to be him?
Lundgren Garcia grew up in Malmö, a coastal city in the south of Sweden. It was
So
there
we
where he fell in
didn't
love with soccer, or as the Europeans
fall
call it,
away.
football.
My bad.
Whether he was playing for local teams or traveling abroad to watch the greats, the sport really consumed Marlon's entire childhood. But it wasn't long before basketball came into the picture. Marlon
Basketball. LeBron.
was tall for his age, and the game came naturally. By high school, he was actually pretty good. Good enough to get recruited into one of Sweden's top athletic programs.
He was?
I cheered.
By the way, I've never watched this before.
genuinely couldn't pronounce the school if I tried, but it's stacked with an alumni list and includes names like Hugo Larson, Amelia Nilsson-Leap, and Zlatan Ibrahimovic.
Damn, Ibrahimovic.
By the end of high school, Marlon was ranked one of the top basketball players in Sweden, which is well known to the U.S., specifically the Lower Columbia College in Washington State, where he played college basketball. Now, Marlon's basketball career was short-lived. After just his freshman year, he went back home to Sweden and never to play college basketball again.
Damn.
So what was the point in telling you this? Well, because it was here, in an apartment at the Lower Columbia College, that Marlon's social media career began. In early 2021, one of Marlon's college teammates pulled out his phone, recorded a video of the two of them dancing. He posted it to TikTok, and it popped. The views skyrocketed, and people flooded the comments asking the same question. So Marlon did what anyone.
Everyone asked that.
Throughout his freshman season, Marlon and his teammate kept at it, spamming the same setup with the exaggerated smile and 15 seconds of choreography and blue, and it kept working. Hundreds of thousands of views became the norm, and the followers kept climbing up. Once he got back to Sweden, you could tell Marlon had done the math on why his video was pop, and spoiler, it
He
wasn't the
knows
man.
he's fine.
The choreography got phased out in favor of better lighting, more deliberate angles, and a shirt that more oftentimes than not just didn't make it in the shot. But hey, it worked. By late 2023, Marlon had pulled in almost 1 million followers, basically just by posting thirst traps to TikTok. But there's a problem with TikTok. The app doesn't really pay its creators, and the little it does pay is pennies.
Here's my stat for the month,
Yeah.
201 million views, so probably a lot of money, right? $293.80.
Ooh, that's tough.
My paycheck for the month.
That's why every TikToker eventually pivots. They start a YouTube channel, they launch a podcast, or even just ditch TikTok entirely. Joe Bartolozzi is a perfect example of this. He blew up on TikTok, moved to streaming, dragged his audience with him, and now he's one of the biggest streamers on Twitch, and barely touches TikTok at all. Which our next video is on, and we really want to do like an interview. So if you want to see that, go spam his chat and his comments saying golf cards sent you a D. But anyways,
Go
Marlon
spam
tried
his
the same
chat,
thing.
yo.
In early 2024, he went live on Twitch for the first time. And despite a TikTok following pushing a million, only 50 people clicked in. The next stream fewer. The one after that, even less.
Damn.
This is where
Well, I
Marlon's
have
pretty
one,
much
so
starting out. Because there's a difference between an audience that likes looking at you and an audience that likes listening to you talk. Marlon had spent 3 years building first kind, and now he needed the second. So if you're Marlon, what do? You have 1 million people who follow you for one reason, and one reason only, and you've just spent 2 months proving they're not going to follow you anywhere else. You're 22, you dropped out of college, and the dream you've been chasing for years is collecting dust on a platform that doesn't pay. Great. Most people in that spot quit. They get a real job.
Jobs,
TikTok account goes dormant, and that's the end of the story. You see, when the attention isn't converting, you really only have 2 choices. Accept that the internet gave you the wrong kind of audience, or figure out how to put yourself in front of the right one. And that's basically the entire game online. It doesn't matter if you're a streamer, a creator, or even an entrepreneur.
This guy's like a rip-off on his stream.
And that's where WAP comes in. WAP just introduced WAP ads to help you run your own ads on ads. Now, do that.
Sponsoring, my bad.
Nobody was sitting behind a desktop anymore. They were all out doing IRL streams.
Yeah. Like no one does well, for like video game streams aren't that popular now.
And almost all of them were doing it from the US. That was the path. If Marlon wanted Ben, he had to go get it. So he scrounged up what money he had and booked a one-way flight to Miami.
Miami.
He didn't really have a full pass landing. He had a hotel for a few nights, a camera, and a goal of streaming every single day. That's pretty much what he did. Every day was the same. He'd walk around, talk to strangers, eat, sleep, stream, eat. After a few weeks, he was pulling in over 150 users per stream.
Okay.
And then one afternoon, he opened Twitch and saw this. Lacey and Quicks, 2 of the biggest streamers on the platform, were doing an IRL stream.
Lacey had like a crazy glow up.
Strangers on the street. Marlon saw the stream and instantly recognized where they were. Yo, it has to be right here. Come on, it has to be right here. He found them, walked up, and asked for a free haircut.
What's up, bro? What's good, bro? Oh my god! What's up, bro?
Wait,
And just like that,
this is how he got famous?
months earlier was watching his viewer countdown in real time, was suddenly live in front of 30,000 people on the front page of
Oh.
Twitch. This is the exact reason you booked the one-way flight. This is what every
kind of like a lucky way to get famous, in my opinion.
Streamer, please out there. Ahead at 3 a.m. when they're wondering if it's ever going to work. And from the outside, it really did look like it was working. Every single day.
Wait, how did he afford a place to live?
20 years. And then the past week, I've averaged like $140. But the numbers that actually mattered, the ones in his bank account, were going in the wrong direction.
Oh, now he's onto that.
Because here's what nobody posts about. Marlon's streams were growing, but he was burning through his savings faster than Twitch was paying him out. Every day he stayed in Miami was another day of cheap hotels, cheap food, and doing the math on whether getting a haircut was worth eating that night.
But I don't have $40 to spend. I don't have $40. I'm not eating tonight. I promise I'm not eating tonight.
Damn, that's tough.
My $5 that I got yesterday.
This is why you should live with your parents,
Because I stole from this cup and didn't give him money.
like, for as long as possible.
What do you...
For weeks, he was living off opium, bouncing between hostels with beds that he couldn't fit in, and Airbnbs that were covered in roaches.
What the f*** is that? What the
Yo,
f*** is
man.
that? Do you see it? Right? Do you see this?
This is what it actually looks like to bet everything on yourself.
I'm unable to sleep. There's no one in this world that any other streamer will do this, to go to this extent, to try to fucking pursue me. There's no way.
But after 2 months in the States, Marlon's funds had dig deep in the red.
Oh, he's in the negatives. Like, that's deep down.
And he was forced to go back home to Sweden.
I just sound so bad. I don't know what to do on that. This is my last resort time. Go on.
For reasons that aren't really clear, his parents' house wasn't an option to stream from anymore. So he had to set up shop in a garage an hour away from home.
I couldn't find an apartment. I couldn't find a office. I couldn't find anything.
Which honestly sounds like a step backwards. But the bet had already started paying off. He just didn't know it yet.
He lived in the garage.
September 2024, Marlon's viewership climbed past 500 a stream, and the money was finally starting to catch up. As he grew, so did his network. Within a few months, he was streaming with huge names like Ray, Nick Nyerson, and even flew back.
The way Ray got famous is like the most lucky way to get famous of all time. Like, what if he had never run into Kai Cenat on that day in 2024?
To go to stream IRL, please.
Or 2023.
Let's fix that.
Who the hell
Python,
are you?
SQL, Power BI, and more on dating account.
By January, things had really started to line up. Streaming was finally turning into something sustainable, and after months of paperwork, his US visa came through. So he packed up the garage, flew to LA, and moved into Nick Nyersohn's house.
I'm
To whose house?
It's a nice little, you know what I'm saying, right here, but they said I can have this, have my stream room in it, and I can just like crash on the couch.
That's smart.
Just a few months after landing in LA, Marlon had reached this inescapable level in streaming. It was like you'd never heard of him one day, and then suddenly he was everywhere.
There's this new streamer named Marlon.
Yeah, that's like how, like, I feel like a lot of people heard of him.
I get thousands of viewers every day. No, I saw this when he first started in like this shipping campaign almost.
And that's actually a pretty accurate way to describe what happened. Marlon went from averaging less than just 600 viewers in December to over 15,000 in May. That's a 2,400% increase in a matter of just 5 months.
His first time being at the house felt supernatural. Face Marlon, I wouldn't be opposed to it.
It's hard to not give Lacey his flowers for his role in this. Lacey was a much bigger streamer at the time, and basically made Marlon a staple character in his streams. But he wasn't doing it out of the kindness of his heart. At the end of the day, Lacey's streams performed better when Marlon was in them.
Yeah.
Look at his most popular TikToks. Half of them were Marlon.
Yeah, that's kind of
What
crazy.
made it work was really the dynamic between the two of them. Just the sight of them next to each other told you everything you needed to know. They looked like two people from completely different movies who somehow got written in the same scene. On paper, the duo didn't make sense. One had a cool, calm, pretty boy energy, and the other was loud, chaotic, and completely unfiltered.
What?
Why do they have a dirt bike in the living room?
so well together. One's the type of guy who says something weird, realizes it, and then makes it worse by trying to fix it.
No, I mean,
the other says everything with a smooth, charming confidence. You put them in the same room and the joke kind of writes itself.
Yo.
yeah. That's it, man.
That's exactly what Marlon and Lacey had. The
Oh, yeah,
internet
go,
got
go,
one
go.
look at it and couldn't get enough. And once the clips started spreading, more and more doors started opening on their own. Aiden Ross, Mr. Beast, Facebook. Phase didn't sign you yet? Yeah. Marlon became a household name in streaming with a core audience of viewers who genuinely wanted to watch whatever it was that he streamed. Throughout 2025, he continued to push his reach as far as he could, and in late October, he took one of his biggest swings yet, a full tour across the United States. With the goal, 50 states in 28 days. By the end of the year, Marlon had become one of the standout faces in streaming with over 1.6 million followers.
Like, I started to hear about him, like, in October of, like, 2025.
To his name.
Marlon, he blew
Marlon blew up.
Marlon is the definition of rising star. In the beginning of the year, he was just getting known, and now he's literally like one of the top known people in the street. That is the definition of a star who rose.
Everyone's having a good night.
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
so excited to present
I
the
remember
Rising
watching.
Star Award. This category celebrates
I
the
remember
streamers who
watching
began the year
his,
with under
like, the
1,000
highlights
average
of his.
viewers and have shown rapid growth and huge potential for the future. And the winner is
Marlon.
Marlon!
Oh man. It's
Kind of crazy, you know. It's been a long year. Want to thank my team, of course, Jake, Rocket, Miles, Ozzy, Matt, my editors, Dylan, Adley, everybody's been helping me out. And then, of course, Lace, all the face guys, everybody I collab with, you know, y'all pushed me this year. So, thank y'all. I wouldn't be here without y'all, so I appreciate y'all. I don't want to say last name, my bad. There's a lot of doubters, a lot of haters always. Always gonna talk, but they're not the ones standing on the stage, so.
Oh, yeah, 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 yeah.
Now, there are a lot of people online who really credit Marlon's success to his looks.
Yeah, yo, like, that's a crazy, like, transformation. Like, basically homeless to sitting with NFL owners.
In truth, the goal of this video was to figure out if Marlon's success really just stems from pretty privilege, and I'd be lying if I said I didn't go back and forth on it. Because he really has worked hard and sacrificed a lot to get where he is, but at the same time, he takes his shirt off on TikTok and it pulls 125 million views. And then people start using AI and put their faces on his
Charlie
How
Kirk.
to do the Marlon? I'm
We
just trying
got
to be
Charlie
myself
Kirk.
trend. But if you start looking at pretty privilege like some sort of scarlet letter, you realize that Marlon's looks actually put him into a category of streamer we've never really seen before. This is definitely going to sound like total glaze, but it's also kind of true. So, Marlon's like this perfect blend of traditional celebrity and your average streamer. He's attractive enough to have that Hollywood vibe of being wildly unattainable, which is the same reason that he was the first streamer to sign with Calvin Klein.
Calvin Klein. Yo, Calvin Klein shirts, like, shrink so much. Like, I had one shirt, it shrinked, like, this much after, like, 2 washes. Don't buy Calvin Klein.
And the first streamer to walk the runway in Paris Fashion Week.
I'm about to walk in Paris Fashion Week tomorrow. This is beautiful. This life is beautiful.
That audience that I mentioned earlier, it sounds shallow, I know, but the one that just liked the way that he looked. He found a way to monetize it. Through partnerships and campaigns with massive brands like Ralph Lauren, H&M, and Burberry, he's built out a model career that's almost as impressive as a streaming career. H&M sat with the creative director and said, we want you to be the first streamer to London Fashion Week for us as well. Brother, this is crazy. To take it a step farther, he has a natural tie to an audience outside the US, which is huge, because the US is known as the entertainment capital of the world. Streamers based here tend to organically build audiences that are US based too. Don't get me wrong, that's a massive audience, but it's only a fraction of what's out there. think about what I Show Speed did.
I Show
Soccer,
Speed.
a sport that's kind of relevant here in America, but it's the most popular one.
I Show Speed
And
is
it's
like
the center of his content.
the
Now look at Marlon. As someone who
Michael
plays soccer,
Jordan
he already
of
understood the
streaming.
sport. So it didn't feel forced when he started integrating into his content. The guy goes and plays in a charity match and seamlessly fits in with some of the greatest ever played game. He's integrated into the soccer community.
I saw that.
Speed. I mean, I was watching the Champions League semifinals the other day, and there pops up Marlon and a halftime commercial with Declan Rice. At the start of this,
I thought that was Mbappe.
At the start of this, I told you Marlon's story was uglier than it looks from the outside, and I think that's still true. The beds that were too small, the oatmeal in Miami, the roach infested Airbnbs, and the garage that was an hour away from home. None of that fits the easy move story everyone wants to tell you about good-looking people online. But here's the part I keep coming back to. The looks got him in the door, he could have stopped there, and a lot of people would have. Instead, he kept walking through every new room that opened, and now it's pretty tough to put him in just one box.
Since I was a kid in this, I feel like all of us wanted to become like YouTubers. It's not about the money, it's not about the fame, it's not about the clout, it's not about none of the chat like at all. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying it because I'm gonna do I mean because
I have one viewer, which is myself.
The biggest right now is myself and my mom.
You are so delusional I am, but listen. The delusion got me you. The delusion got me my dreams.
Say to my mom, they're like, Mom, listen, Mom, I'm gonna go to the States. I'm gonna be there for 3 months. I don't care where I sleep, I'm gonna make this shit happen.
The delusion got me my dream car. The delusion got me almost 2 million followers on Twitch. The delusion got me almost 5 million followers on Instagram. You see stuff on YouTube, and this is not even real.
Yeah, kind of inspirational, low-key.
The delusion made me pay my mom's rent forever.
So why is that so important to pay my mom? Because my mom got me this place, got her.
Yo, that used to be him?
My mom got me this place, and now my mom's trying to get back.
What's up, mama? Chat, say what's up to mama.
That's his mom.
The delusion flew my whole family out here for Christmas whenever they want, whatever they want. The delusion I can get my niece whatever she wants, whenever she wants.
For the guys that do know or doesn't know, Marlon is my brother.
Oh yeah, like, they kind of look the same. You could tell.
The delusion maybe we need to write some stuff.
Nice trophy.
Be delusional.
Be delusional. Be delusional.
God, we thank you for these past few days. Thank you for the experience. Thank you for the blessings. Thank God for letting me achieve my dreams and letting my family be with me along this journey. God, I thank you for everybody in the chat. I pray that their families stay healthy, and God, I thank you for everything done for me. Please forgive us all of our sins. Amen.
Amen.
Subscribe. Shh, who the hell is this guy?
Easy. And nowhere is that.
Now what else should I react to? What time is the next World Cup game? 3 PM, so we still have a while. Now chat, we're gonna do the disturbing past of I Show Speed.
Our first guest
Let's
is
begin.
one of our...
By the way, like, I Show Speed is like my favorite streamer of all time.
absolute favorites. He's very funny, very talented. He's one of the most successful YouTube stars in the world. He's the
Like, his rise is insane. Like, he started on a old PS4 and now he's like one of the most famous people in the world. Like, it's insane. Probably the greatest streamer of all time.
one English-speaking streamer.
But he's like not as funny as he was. But of course he like matured over time.
On the internet.
Now he's a global name. South America, Asia, Africa, it doesn't matter where you go.
This guy is taking over the internet, man. He's absolutely killing it.
Arguably the biggest streamer to ever exist. I
I
Show
agree.
Speed.
I Show Speed.
I Show Speed.
I Show Speed.
Mama, I miss you. Just talk to me, Mom.
I did kind of grow up like not so well neighborhood, you know.
He really made it out of the hood. Like he really made it out.
Because I got mad and something like I just and like came out of me. I swear to God, Jack. Mom, come on, you fuck. What? Is the talking to me? Is the female talking to me? Am I
That clip changed him.
I got kicked out, bro. What am I gonna do, bro? I'm fucked up.
The disturbing past of IShowSpeed, and I've never watched this.
IShowSpeed might just have one of the most interesting but disturbing pasts out of any other YouTuber, from getting into insane altercations with his mom live on stream,
Not in the mood right now, Not in the mood. Not in the mood, bro.
to getting banned multiple times on YouTube and Twitch for inappropriate behavior.
I can't stream no more, y'all, for a little minute, y'all, because of that last live stream, y'all, so I would not be streaming no more.
To eventually getting into one huge fight with his mom, which ended with him getting kicked out at only 14 years old.
She told me to quit?
Yeah. Damn, 14 years old and getting kicked out.
Or I'm leaving, like, you know, or like, you can't do this in my house.
But somehow, Speed managed to turn all that around, and in the process built a 50 million subscriber empire spanning across the globe. So, how did he do it? How did Speed go from a poor, homeless kid to this?
Like, this is like Michael Jackson level clouds.
What exactly did he discover about YouTube at just 15 years old that allowed him to succeed even when everyone and everything tried to put him down? So buckle up, because we're going on a journey to uncover the dark and disturbing past of IShowSpeed, and how he managed to transform his life from a homeless, bullied kid to one of the biggest streamers in the world.
Let's see. Genesis?
Darren Watkins Jr., or as we know him today as IShowSpeed, was born on the 21st of January 2005 in Cincinnati, Ohio.
I am from Ohio. Cincinnati, Ohio.
Growing up, Speed wasn't chasing fame or streamer awards. In fact, Speed had a pretty rough childhood that almost led him down a dark path.
I did kind of grow up like not so well neighborhood, you know. I had a lot of fights, you know. I've seen a lot of stuff.
His parents, Darren Watkins Sr. and Tiffany Graves, had divorced when he was
seen a lot of stuff.
His parents, Darren Watkins Sr. and Tiffany
That's his mom?
Graves had divorced when he was just a kid, resulting in a pretty shaky childhood for Speed and his two siblings. However, despite being brought up in these tough conditions, Speed somehow managed to find something he excelled in, sports, where he alternated between playing football and basketball.
So when I was younger, I was always like, I played sports, I played football, basketball, whatever. I was, but like nobody knows, but I was like a 4-star, 5-star. I was one of the best slots in Ohio.
As the mid-2010s rolled around, football wasn't his only passion anymore. Like other teenagers his age, Speed would begin to sink deep into the world of video games, focusing mainly on NBA 2K and later on Fortnite.
Because I always loved games. I was always a gamer, and I made like videos when I was, you know, just regular stuff as a kid.
It would also be around this time that Speed would begin to show interest in becoming a content creator.
I told my mom at 12 years old, 11 years old, I want to be a YouTuber, I want to be a streamer. Like I generally wanted to be.
For this reason, Speed would create his YouTube channel on the 21st of March 2016 at the age of 11, deriving the name IShowSpeed from the fact that...
So when I was younger, I was always known...
Where did he get the name IShowSpeed?
My speed, I was always fast, you know. But when I made my gamer tag when I was 12 years old, I put IShowSpeed.
What there's nice space gaming?
These ads.
So then it's just people call me Steve and their own.
However, despite this initial excitement of becoming a YouTuber/streamer, the channel would remain inactive for a whole year, up until December 2017, when Speed would finally upload his first video.
2K18 first video.
Unsurprisingly, this video performed poorly. It was just a screen recording. There was no storyline, and he was clearly only just a kid. However, Speed wasn't ready to give up just yet. After posting that initial video, he'd follow it up with 2 more NBA 2K videos, which all performed dismally. To combat this, Speed would switch from making NBA 2K videos to Fortnite after the game's initial boom in early 2018.
Fortnite in 2018 was like everywhere.
However, due to his young age, the poor quality, and the lack of storytelling within the videos, they wouldn't even scratch the surface on the YouTube algorithm, and iShowSpeed would remain as a barely recognizable prepubescent teen with a following of less than 50 subscribers. But despite the lack of followers, Speed did not give up, and always seemed to have that vision of becoming YouTube famous, like his idol Ninja.
Ninja kind of like really opened up my eyes,
Yo, Ninja is still streaming like 8 hours a day. Like he should retire, honestly. Like 8 hour streams, like what's he doing now? Ninja air fryer. He doesn't even come up on the first. $22. Oh. Like, he hasn't been live in 21 days. Like 5 hour streams. Like he should start IRL streaming.
Yo, I'm like, Mom, I was 12 years old. I'm like, Mom, I want to be a streamer. She's like, what? It's crazy. I really think my mom remembers. I told my mom at 12 years old, 11 years old, I want to be a YouTuber. I want to be a streamer.
And perhaps with the assistance of his early obliviosity and an undying dream, iShowSpeed would hit the Go Live button on YouTube for the very first time on the 28th of December, 2018.
He never wore a shirt. Like he always had his shirt off.
Throughout 2019, iShowSpeed would continue streaming and uploading videos occasionally, once again signaling his passion for content creation from a young age. However, despite him clearly putting in the work to achieve this dream, none of his videos or streams really did much for him, as most of them only managed to garner less than 1,000 views.
Like, you can check back on my old videos, bro. I just used to post Fortnite video, pull a little view, and I gained about 275 subs. That's all I gained from it.
For this reason, Speed would take a
275 is not bad.
step back from content creation to focus on other promising aspects of his life, such as school and sports.
I actually stopped. I was like in 8th grade when I first started, but I stopped. Yeah, it was 8th grade and I stopped.
And for a few months, iShowSpeed's channel sat there, seeing no new uploads or streams. That is, until one incident would change his life forever.
What incident?
In April of 2020, after being forced indoors by the COVID pandemic, iShowSpeed decided to give streaming another shot, a decision that would change his life forever.
But then 2020, that's the point of my career where that's pretty much when my life changed. You know, it was no school, I was bored and had nothing to do.
That shit was boring as hell.
I had nothing to do.
But I made a lot of like good fucking memories.
You know, everything stopped. Stuck in the house. I sparked that first stream up. I had that one viewer, and that viewer made me keep going.
Speed began by streaming NBA 2K.
I have 0 views.
Yo, I'm finna show y'all how to guard the post hooks, y'all.
However, despite Speed giving streaming his all from the get-go, he saw little success in the beginning, as most of his streams from this time only managed to attract 1 or 2 viewers.
So when I first started my stream, I only had like 1 viewer, 2 viewers.
Oh, what's up, Pacifics, man? What's up, my boy? On tools? Yeah, bro, I'm on tools, bro.
But the lack of initial success did not demotivate Speed, as it perhaps indicated to him that it was time to improve his content, as well as keep up with the daily grind, no matter the views.
I would just press and go live every day.
I feel like the only way I could get famous, well, like, I could get subscribers, is if, like, I stay consistent.
He's dating more. Week 2, I started averaging 4 viewers. Week 3, 8 viewers. Week 4, 20 viewers. So on and so on and so on.
Throughout the rest of 2020, Speed would continue streaming NBA 2K every day to an audience of less than 50 viewers. But this number would begin to change slightly in late 2020, when Speed would begin to notice a certain peculiar pattern that instantly began to draw more attention and engagement to his streams, his rage moments. These rage moments became so iconic within his small community that members would timestamp where exactly in the stream Speed had a crash, allowing other viewers to easily access the funniest parts within his streams much more quickly, which ultimately revealed two main things to iShow Speed. Firstly, that his rage moments were what drew people to his streams, and secondly, that he should give the people what they want, and Speed would go on to do exactly that. Within no time, Speed's channel would be...
Yo, my live stream is boring as hell. Like, I need to put some more energy into it.
Beginning to see its first bit of subscriber growth, hitting 1,000, 2,000, and ultimately 5,000.
My goal is 1,000 subscribers. If I get 1K, I'll be the happiest person. The happiest person.
5,000 subscribers by October of 2020.
Right now, 5.9,000 subs right now.
And this milestone was crucial, as it finally indicated to Speed that continuing with his daily streams would be worthwhile, and with perseverance and consistency, something might eventually become of this channel. Throughout the rest of 2020 and early 2021, Speed would continue streaming and uploading every single day, to a point where he gave up on everything else in his life, including school and sports.
I kind of gave up on school.
He was kind of lucky though. He had it was COVID, so everyone had online school. Like, I feel like if COVID never happened, he probably would not have gotten as famous.
I kind of give him everything that I had to my whole life and just put everything onto my stream. I streamed every day. I didn't care about nothing else but YouTube streaming.
But abandoning his schoolwork wouldn't go unnoticed, as his grades in school would begin to slip rapidly, resulting in a huge fight between him and his mom.
She told me to quit, or I'm leaving. Like, you know, or like, you can't do this on my house.
Like, no parent should, like, kick their kids out.
So I'm like, I'm out.
Yeah, I was like, I'm out. You know, like, I'm not about to stop. Like, I was already averaging like 20 viewers, and I had like 2,000 subs. Like, I'm already going.
After being kicked out of his mother's house, Speed would relocate to his dad's house in Detroit, which is where things would begin to pick up for his streaming career.
His dad is like way more chill. Rise to fame.
After moving in with his dad in Detroit, Speed finally had the space and freedom he desperately needed to focus fully on his dream of becoming a streamer.
I moved to my dad in Detroit. Then I kept going. I used to stream my dad's attic. Yeah, I was just at my dad's attic. My dad didn't really care. My dad let me. Shout out to my dad. Shout out to my mom too.
Finally, he could stream as much and as loudly as he wanted. However, that freedom came at a cost. He was completely isolated from his old life, which left him lonely and depressed.
Didn't he have like no friends?
My dad. I was just doing YouTube every single day. I was a lonely guy. I had no friends. Nobody takes calls.
Yeah, no friends.
People in his pictures, then takes her coffee. I was just focused on YouTube.
But despite struggling with intense isolation and loneliness, Speed did not give up. Over the following months, Speed would continue streaming every single day without fail, steadily growing his channel to 50,000 subscribers by early 2021, and he'd officially gone from nobody to a small streamer.
Yeah.
However, Speed wouldn't stay a small YouTuber for long, because his small community of subscribers had fallen in love with the iconic rage moments from his streams that they began clipping and reposting them on TikTok, where they go viral, gaining millions upon...
I feel like clip farming is like the best way to like get subscribers now on social media.
Millions of views. After seeing the success of his rage moment clips on TikTok, Speed would go on to start a new trope that got his growing fanbase even more excited: barking.
Bark for the one-time daddy.
The hilarious nature of Speed's barking attracted more and more people to his streams, and on the 20th of
How did he come up with that?
April 2021, exactly 1 year since his first stream post-COVID, Speed would hit the incredible milestone of 100,000 subscribers.
Oh my goodness, Uncle Man!
When did he hit 1 April? So, in 1 year, he went from 200 to 100K.
And the growth wouldn't stop there, as Speed would go on to hit 200,000 subscribers 1 month later. Then 300,000 subscribers 20 days after that. However, while everything seemed to be going incredibly well for Speed, there was somewhat of a problem in his personal life that would bring him to one of the most challenging points in his life.
Back to square
In the summer of 2021, while Line's prominence on the internet was continuing to rise, it would come to his mom's attention that he had given up on school to instead focus on his burgeoning streaming career.
So I dropped out my sophomore year. I was failing all my grades my sophomore year. Then my mom was like, hell no. You know, she put a stop to it. She called my dad.
Yeah, like, I agree with that.
Then I moved back in with my mom for my junior year. Okay. So I gained my credit for my sophomore year and my junior year. So my mom, she was on, she put me in an online class.
Speed explained that shortly after moving back to his mother's house in Ohio, everything seemed to be going well for him. However, within no time, the same issues that had driven him out of his mother's home the first time would soon start to resurface.
Real shit, bro. Shit is annoying as fuck, bro. I can't do fucking shit, bro. You need to be quiet. It's be quiet. It's 823. Chat, y'all wonder why I start on stream early is because of her. That's the reason I start on stream early. Because she got a rule of saying everybody need to be quiet at 11 o'clock p.m. So basically, nobody can make noise at 11 o'clock p.m.
For this reason, Speed would begin streaming right after dinner, around
Honestly, like, Speed back when he lived with his parents was like peak entertainment.
8 p.m., hoping to get a couple of hours of streaming before the curfew hit. However, this only seemed to quiet things down for a short while. As Speed continued with his daily streams, his online notoriety and subscriber count would only keep growing, pushing him to 400,000 subscribers.
100
million. Okay, I said 400 million.
We did it!
Then 500,000 subscribers less than 12 hours later. However, because of his loud and energetic streams, which he'd sometimes do in the middle of the night when his mom and siblings were sleeping,
5 a.m.
He'd always get in trouble with his mother, which would first unfold on camera during his 600,000 subscriber celebration stream.
Oh yeah, this is like a iconic clip.
Come on, bro, just set up on some real shit, chat. I swear to God, chat.
Hey, man, I love y'all boys, man. I love y'all boys, bro. You know what, bro? I'm not about to let it fucking, you know what? I want my, you know what? I want to heal so bad, you feel me? I don't feel me.
Damn.
You know what? 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 You know what?
600K. 15 minutes.
Mom, come on, alright, okay, alright.
But despite experiencing such an anticlimactic end to his stream due to the fight with his mom, Speed did not give up on streaming, and while the situation
he had like enough money to move out.
Kinda limited his ability to stream freely in the short run, the whole fight sort of proved to be a positive for him, considering he got a lot of free publicity from it. Because of this, as well as a very supportive fanbase that had grown to love his antics, Speed would go on to gain an additional 200,000 subscribers within the next 24 hours, bringing his total subscriber count to 800,000 subscribers.
Yo, what if he told his mom to do it on purpose so he could get more viewers?
Dog! What is going on? My goodness! Damn! I couldn't even go to sleep! Like this shit just woke me up, like I swear to God! This shit just woke me up, bro. I couldn't even take this in, bro.
However, Speed would end up getting into another altercation with his mom before the stream was over.
Come on, you got it to me. You got to, man. Hey, Honey K! Congratulations! Hey, Honey K! Alright, congratulations. What? Congratulations!
He was already making a lot of money, though.
But despite the anger,
like it's not like he was making like no money. He was.
Kept on pushing, and the next few days would prove to be monumental for his channel, as he would go on to hit 1 million subscribers the very
The
next
big
day.
1 million.
1 million, bro. Damn.
Speed's growth at this point was astronomical, as he gained 300,000 subscribers in 24 hours. And that was just the beginning, because the very next day he'd wake up to an astonishing 1.5 million subscribers.
1 million. I miss the old
However,
veteran.
despite experiencing this massive breakthrough in his streaming career, Speed's relationship with his mum was at an all-time low, leading to a few tough months for Speed behind the scenes.
Chapter 5.
Throughout the rest of 2021, while Speed's channel continued to experience an astronomical growth spurt, the fights that had been happening between him and his mom would take a whole new turn, and it would all unfold on camera during his 1.7 million subscriber celebration stream.
Damn. Speed was on like a generational run in 2021.
I'm fucking tired of this shit. I can't get hot. You know what, Chad? You know what, y'all. I'm about to. What the fuck? Like, come on. Man, I wanna get hype. I can't.
And that was just the beginning of it. Over the following months, his mom would repeatedly interrupt his streams.
Today is Friday! Y'all know we gotta stream every Friday!
Friday.
Slap him.
Yo.
Ah, bro, this
Nah.
No, I'm talking about the game.
And cut off his internet.
Mom, get out!
Oh. Yo, why are his nostrils so big? Like, you could fit 2 fingers inside those nostrils.
You know what? I asked you to quit cussing.
However, Speed did not let these challenges discourage him. In fact, they only seemed to motivate him to work even harder. After hitting the impressive milestone of 2 million subscribers, Speed began doing collaborative streams with other online personalities, a trend that began after meeting Aiden Ross in July of 2021.
Aiden Ross, like, put him, like, on the map.
Yes, sir, man. Yes, sir.
After seeing the success of doing these collaborative streams, Speed would go on to double down on this format, becoming a regular member of Aiden Ross's E-Date streams from that point forward.
So I have no chance again.
No chance.
I'm like, really? Like, you think these 2 guys like you? Do you think we like you?
No, I like him.
Hey,
I like him.
Hey, Kyle, bro, hey, hold on. I'm not talking right now. I'm talking to this dude right now. You think these 2 guys like you?
But this was only the beginning, as Speed would start experimenting with IRL streams, which further expanded his reach.
He does like way too many IRL streams now.
Next for IRL stream, everybody to do IRL stream, and so chat. We're doing our first IRL stream. I'm kind of nervous. I've been outside so long, bro.
And the shift from gaming to collaborative and IRL streams proved to be excellent for the growth of the channel, because in the 6 months between July 2021 and January 2022, Speed would go from 2 million to a whopping 4 million subscribers.
2 to 4 million.
Let's go! Now that's 4 million! Now that's 4 million!
And with this massive subscriber growth propelling him to the forefront of both YouTube and Twitch, it seemed like Speed was ready to take on the world. However, it wouldn't take long before Speed found himself embroiled in a major controversy, ultimately resulting in a permanent ban from Twitch.
We all know what happened.
On the 11th of December 2021, after quickly becoming a fan favorite on Aiden Ross's E-Day streams, Speed would be invited again and paired on a date with popular Instagram influencer Ash Cash. However, what began as a light-hearted interaction would quickly spiral out of control.
Okay, yeah, we're gonna have to skip this. Everyone knows what
Finding himself
happened.
embroiled in controversy, his subscriber count continued to grow, largely because his audience had already become accustomed to his loud and often chaotic personality that had made him stand out in the first place.
I need this. This clip, like, people glaze it way too much.
My mom is kind of homeless. I look for my dad. I want to help her out.
It's honestly not even that funny.
Look at his smile, bro. You disrespectful as shit, bro. You don't like your face? Why you laughing at your bag, bro? Nah, bro, you disrespectful as shit, bro. My fucking life was cute.
And with the backing of his rapidly growing fanbase and an intense streaming schedule,
God,
Speed's channel would go on to gain another 2 million subscribers by March of 2022, bringing his total count to 6 million
6
subscribers.
million.
6 million, babe. 6 million, baby.
Do the backflip.
6 million, baby. 6 million, baby. Let's go, bro.
It was also at the peak of this success that Speed would begin a new endeavor
Yo, chat, my stream is probably like so boring right now.
that would propel his brand into absolute stardom, essentially turning his name from that loud and chaotic streamer to a household name known across the world. On the 4th of March 2022, I showed
The
Speed
day
would get to go
everything
live on
changed.
YouTube like any other day. However, what nobody, including Speed, knew was that just a few minutes into the stream,
What if he never got this
his life was going
donation?
to change forever.
Bradley donated £1.79 through Super Chat. What soccer football team do you support?
Cristiano Ronaldo. Silly.
The YouTube was never the same after he said this.
Simple as that, bro.
Those 3 words, while seemingly insignificant at the time, would go on to change the trajectory of Speed's career forever.
And YouTube
Once this clip
in
escaped
general.
the corner of the internet, it spread like wildfire. The countless reposts, retweets, and TikTok re-uploads propelled it to millions of viewers. And virtually overnight, Speed had been introduced to an audience he never even knew existed, one that stretched far beyond the borders of the United States.
What do you think would have happened if he never got that donation?
To understand the scale of the audience he was about to tap into, consider this. The FIFA World Cup attracts viewership that makes the Super Bowl look relatively
Yo, by the way, the Super Bowl was over way before it started. Like, everyone knew the Seahawks were winning. Patriots did not have a chance. Like the Broncos should have been in place of the Patriots, but of course Bo Nix got injured. And this World Cup final, as I said yesterday, we might be getting a repeat of this matchup, and it was so good.
Ronaldo, Speed had just opened the door to that audience.
Oh, critical!
After seeing the success of these clips, Speed would go on to double down on making soccer-oriented content,
Double
and to
down.
say the videos performed well would be a massive understatement. The insane views Speed received from these videos prompted him to pick up a soccer ball and go outside. And within no time, all of his streams, videos, and viral moments were all leading to one iconic moment, meeting Ronaldo.
So chat, y'all think one day I'll meet Ronaldo, y'all?
And on the 17th of June, 2023, approximately 1 year since going viral for being a Ronaldo fan, Speed would finally get to meet the man he'd admired for so long.
I wonder if Messi knows who Speed is.
However, in his pursuit of meeting Cristiano Ronaldo, Speed got to discover something else. He had fans all around the world, and the traveling IRL streams allowed him to meet and interact with them.
I have a lot of fans in the European countries, you know, and for me to really reach out to them.
I wonder how Bradley feels knowing he started all of this.
Feel connected to him. I did stream there, and that led to where I'm at right now, 2024, where I'm traveling the whole world of streaming.
Speed's YouTube channel would continue to grow throughout the rest of 2023 and 2024, to the point where he'd have 1 million concurrent viewers during his stream in Indonesia.
1 million.
Each of these elements propelled Speed's
That's like some Michael Jackson level shit.
channel to the top of YouTube, pushing him past 10 million, 20 million,
He
and eventually
needs
52
to get
million
at
subscribers
least
by May of
100 million.
2026.
He has like an 8-pack.
However, beyond the subscriber growth and online success, Speed has accomplished something far more important, repairing his relationship with his mom.
My mom always supported me, you know, she just didn't understand. Correct. I really love my mom, you know.
Yeah.
Even now to this day, she
For
still
voice
supports
crack.
me. Still, there's a little mom talk, you know. I love the mom talk, but, you know, I heard yapping.
What iShowSpeed has achieved is inspiring to many, and we hope to see him go on to achieve even more.
Like, the crazy thing is, like, I don't think he could get any, like, bigger, but he finds a way to get bigger. Like, I know I'm on some next level glazing and ass kissing, but, like, still, it's, like, insane. Like, will he ever fall off? Like, I don't think that he's ever gonna fall off again. That's some next level glaze, but still.
Streaming really allowed me to express myself in so many ways and just show who I am. You feel what I'm saying? But the passion that I have for streaming and the love that I have for streaming, I'm not gonna stop, you know? And I love y'all boys.
Okay, now chat, what should I do now? By the way, I figured out how to make my Roblox work. So, we are gonna be playing some what should we play? Yo, why can't I play Speed Race? What? Yo, let's play Tower of Hell, chat. Come on. Man, hell no, never mind. Hell. I wanna play Speed Race. Oh. Yo, I could play it. Yo. Oh. Wrong game. What? Oh. Well, nah, I don't want to play this boring ass game. Speed Race is like the only game I play. Yo, chat, like, these are the games I used to play. I used to play so many escape hobbies. Like, so many. What's the most popular games? I used to play like some Call of Duty game. Oh. Well, no. Let's see what's going on in Bloxburg. It's been a minute since I've played, like maybe 1 year. I understand. Cash out. Yo chat, you like my house? I built this like 2 years ago. So, here's the living room, bookshelf, kitchen. How did I afford all of this? And here is my office, the bathroom. Close these, no one wants to see me naked. Now, what the fuck's in here? Bathroom, my bedroom. What's in here? The garage. Yeah. Pretty nice crib. If I do say so myself. Yeah. Alright chat, so that is it, and I'll see you in the next video.